Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining this webinar today. Just a bit of housekeeping. The uh, webinar is being recorded and will be sent to you by email tomorrow, and it'll be sent to everyone who registered for this. We'll do some questions and answers at the end of the presentation, and we'll be using the Q&A box. There's a Q&A icon in the Zoom toolbar. And you can put your questions in there. So do not type questions in the chat. Do not raise your hand using the Zoom bar. I'm not going to call on people raising their hand or looking in the chat. I will be looking at the Q&A box that appears when you type your question using Q&A. So without further ado, let's get started. Today's presentation is a short presentation just to explain a little bit more in depth about our Bring Your Own Housing program option. It's something that we've offered here and there in the past, but we are offering it more and more, and it's something that people have a lot of questions about. And so we want to just clarify that and answer any questions you might have. Fundamentally, Bring Your Own Housing is a way, just as the name implies, to enjoy the Good Life Abroad experience, which is fundamentally an experience that is about having a community of fellow travelers nearby and the support of our local community manager and activities and events that bring us together and foster that sense of community. And so in some cases, if you have your own place to stay or you want to choose your own housing, this is a way that allows you to have the best of both worlds, to do that, but also be part of our community. So who would do this? You might ask, like, why would I do this? We love the Good Life Abroad because you choose nice apartments. We trust you. We like that you vet the apartments. But in many cases, there's people who sometimes book late and we've run out of apartments. We only have a certain quantity, but we haven't reached the maximum group size. And it allows people to still join the community if they're willing to then go off and find their apartment and still participate. We also have some people say, look, I have very specific tastes, and I'm looking for something a little different from what you offer. I'm looking for something a little more opulent or a little some kind of luxury experience they're looking for, and that's fine too. And whereas we have others who are maybe on more of a budget and have some constraints and say, look, I'm willing to take a smaller apartment, a studio, or maybe even a more of a budget hotel, but I really want to be part of this experience, and that is welcome as well. So it really runs the gamut of who participates in the Bring Your Own Housing program, but it's for everyone, and it's in most of our destinations now. So how does it work exactly? So when you're booking, you would go and you can see this is just a screenshot from the website now. There's an option, which this happens to be Rome. You can select Bring Your Own Apartment. You can click it, view the details, and then you will book your own apartment within what we call the recommended area for that session. And then when you land, you go to your apartment, that's on you, but then you participate in all the activities and onboarding. You still have our pre-departure support. You still meet everyone in the community ahead of time on Zoom. Then you do your orientation together. Everything is really the same, except for the booking of the apartment and kind of managing that. But you would just do it by clicking on this Bring Your Own Apartment option in our website. So the first question people is, well, how do I know where everyone else is? Like, where are they living? And so we are very clear. We provide a clear map of where people who are using the Good Life Abroad housing. We have a map. You can even see it, the screenshot here when you Bring Your Own Housing. In this case, it was Rome. When you click into this is just a screenshot, but you would be able to see an image of the map and an arrow pointing exactly where people are living in this example of Rome. And then we give you that map. We give you some resources for people to find housing. So we try to make it as simple as possible. Here's an example from we have two program sites in Paris. This is our Murray program site. And you could see they are um, in the Murray program site, people are staying in scattered apartments, sort of individual apartments in different buildings. And so we should very clearly show this is the area where people are staying. So if you want to be close to them, you would book something in this area. Um, in other cities, like in Split, everyone stays in one complex. And so we're really clear, everyone is here, and you can find housing in this area. And using a little internet research and Google Maps, you can kind of even see how long would it take to walk from your place to the place where most of the group is staying. Um, so it does require you to be able to have some internet research skills and kind of dig in and see, find the thing that's right for you. And then we provide some resources. There's some companies that are very well known, such as Airbnb or Booking.com. And by the way, Booking.com also does have apartments on its platform. It's not just hotels. So those are kind of well known in the United States, but there's also companies like Silverdor and Alta Vita that are really big in Europe that allow you to find apartments. So we just kind of give you these resources, turn you loose. Many cases, people are very well versed in finding apartments when they travel. So we have no skin in the game, and you can go off and look at any resource that works for you. This screenshot here happens to be from Silverdor. As you can see, in this case, they're in 140 countries. They've got over 1 million apartments in their database. So that's, yeah, between at least these four resources, you should be able to find something that fits your budget and your location. So what does it include? People ask this. I think there's even some questions about this. Um, it is includes everything that the program normally includes, except the apartment, the housing. And so it includes a pre-departure support, it includes the travel medical insurance, it includes access to our local community manager who's on the ground, accessible by WhatsApp, and also who's there in person for any of our activities and events. And it includes uh, now, it does. Now, when I said travel medical insurance, I'm talking about travel medical insurance. What happens if you get sick on the program? It does not include trip cancellation insurance, but that's not included in any of our programs. That is a separate optional insurance plan that you can buy from any company that offers trip cancellation insurance. There's one that we work with, but you can use any company. We have no skin in the game. If you want to book trip cancellation insurance anywhere, that's fine. You can do that. That's not included in any of our programs, bring your own housing or otherwise. Just want to be very clear about that. Um, and when I say includes everything, it's everything that our community offers, right? From orientation, how to live like a local, getting you on the public transit. In most of our programs, we literally take you on public transit, give you the card or the app or the tap thing, whatever it is, so you learn to live like a local, your cultural norms, health and safety. On all of our programs, and after the orientation, kind of break and take it easy. But that night, we come together for a welcome party, drinks, food. We get to know each other, often on rooftop bars and beautiful locations in these cities. We have a tradition of our Tuesday lunch club. If you know anything about our program, if you've maybe been on one of our programs, the Tuesday lunch club is so much more than just having lunch. It's a way to learn new parts of the city, often where you specifically choose these places to take you to places where tourists don't always go. We also try to teach you about the culture through the food, through pre-ordering lots of little things for you to learn and right now become familiar with, oh, that's what that thing is on the menu. Now I know, and on my own, I'm not afraid to order it because I know what I'm getting. And as well as ordering your own things and lots of uh, drinks and wine and whatnot. It's a nice time for people to come together on Tuesdays. It's one of our traditions within the Good Life Abroad. Wednesdays, we do different cultural activities. So, I mean, this is your cooking classes, your historical or architectural walking tours, or the painting workshops, or leather making. I mean, there's so many different cultural activities we offer. Again, all of these activities that you see on the screen are included in the full Good Life Abroad program and also as part of the Bring Your Own Housing program. Our Happy to Be 55 Plus happy hour. It's a nice time. It's always some food and it's some drinks, but it's also learning about the culture. And, those of you who have read about our Barcelona program, they have like a vermouth making workshop. There's French wine tasting with a sommelier. It's a nice time, the farewell party, and of course, our local community manager offering you that staff support um, through WhatsApp Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, advice, recommendations, one-on-one meetings. All these things are included in our program. And also, if you do the Bring Your Own Housings, nothing changes there. You can get a bit of a glimpse of some of the activities that our groups have done in the past and that happen in our programs around Europe. Um, yeah, so lots of good times there. So what does it not include? We like to be very clear about this. It's intentionally simple. It just does not include your apartment accommodations and then kind of dealing with your whatever property management. If you're with Airbnb, we don't get involved with Airbnb or Booking.com. So the housing aspect is just separate. Everything else is the same. And we'd like to make that perfectly simple and clear and transparent. So what does it cost, you might ask? Okay, it's $2,500 per person. It's a flat, we call it our community fee. It's the same in all of our destinations for now, and I don't see that changing this year. And it covers, again, everything I mentioned, including the travel medical insurance, but no apartment. Um, so I think that's very straightforward. Um, and I will mention we're going to be doing a giveaway on social media later today in about 1 hour, just over an hour. We're going to be giving away a $500 voucher for anyone who is you basically go to our Facebook page, you like the comment, you uh, type in something in the comments, and you get entered. I think in a week we will use a random comment generator to pick one comment at random and give away a $500 voucher for someone to do bring your own housing. So that's kind of be a little fun thing. So I think that was pretty clear, very straightforward. There's not too much to it. Now we'll go to questions. We will be using the Q&A box in the Zoom toolbar to type in your questions. So don't type in the chat. Don't raise your hand, please. Just type your questions in the Q&A, and I will try to address all of them right now. And I can, so let's go do some questions. Does travel insurance cover the cost of the trip if you get sick or can't make it? No. If you get sick or can't make the trip, you need trip cancellation insurance, and there's usually a clause or a thing you can buy that allows you to cancel for any reason. So sometimes, especially as we get older, if we have aging parents, an aging parent falls very ill or perhaps passes away, and we can't go cancel for any reason comes in very handy, but that is a separate insurance policy you buy, not included in our program. Um, if another question, if we choose bring your own housing and we want to be close near where the group is staying, the community, when would we know? Um, yeah, so right, even when you're booking, you'll see the map and you'll see kind of exactly where it is. If whenever you book a program with us, one of the first things that happens a couple days later is you get an email from our program coordinator, the person who's coordinating the specific destination you're going to. That person will do something called a welcome call. They'll schedule a Zoom one-on-one. And they'll say, I see you booked our bring your own housing option. Here is the map. They'll send you an email with the address of if it's one building where everyone is staying, they'll send you that address. Or if it's a neighborhood or a few block radius where if they're in scattered apartments, they will send you that. So within a week of booking, a week, 10 days of booking with us, you'll have that specific information so that you can kind of get into the process. But even now, if you go into the booking, our website, and click book now, and you see the bring your own housing option, you'll see the map. You can start to look around and you'll get a general sense of like what's available right in that area. Let's see here. Next question. I have to listen to the replay. I'm guessing that it could be bring your own housing can be less expensive versus the benefit of vetting. The quality, location, safety, cleanliness seem to be the value for other benefits or cost savings. Overstating. Okay, trying to understand. This person is very analytical and trying to understand the cost savings benefit of bring your own housing versus not. I think it comes down to two things. One is bring your own housing does mean some work for you, right? It takes some research. You gotta, one of the reasons people love coming to us is for the same reason many people take tours. It's like, I don't want to spend hours dealing with all these details and looking at things and comparing and looking at this and that. I just want to be, I want it to be done. I want my life to be simple. And I trust the Good Life Abroad, and I know that they have had thousands of very happy participants and they like their apartments and I've seen them on our Facebook group, etc. And it's just very easy. I can put my credit card down, I'm done. So the so bring your own housing puts a lot of work on you, put some time. Now, if that's something that you have no problem with and are happy to do, then that's great. I think the other thing that many people underestimate. And I hear some people say, "Oh, it seems very expensive to go on your program." I think they underestimate how much it costs to have a nice apartment in Europe in some of these major cities. People have a lot of experience with hotel rooms, and nowadays a nice hotel room is going to be, especially given the exchange rate of the dollar to the euro, it could easily be $250 a night for a hotel room. Now you want to talk about a full apartment, it does obviously go up and it does get more expensive. So I think now people sometimes see these shows like House Hunters International, and I watch them too. They're fun. So, oh, I can get a place for €1 in Italy. Yeah, yeah. It's always more. It always seems better than it really is. I think people sometimes underestimate the cost of finding an apartment that they will truly be happy with. Now, that said, some people are happy with very minimal amenities, and that's great. Then you can probably go out and find a very budget-friendly, low-cost, bare bones apartment. They exist, they do. You just have to realize that as the Good Life Abroad, we try to find a standard that is common across all of our apartments for all of our participants, and we want to find something that almost everyone will be pretty happy with. So some people, nope, we have very high standards. We're very particular. They want to go find their own. Other people happy with bare bones, willing to put in the work, and happy to kind of have fewer amenities and save money. Absolutely. That's why we're here for you. So I think that's a long answer to your question, but I hope I answered it. Um, Here's a question. Are you moving to a single building or one complex in all of your cities? The answer there is a little more complicated. The short answer is in many of our cities, we're in a single building. However, what's also happening is we're now expanding and offering multiple program sites in one city. So, for example, in Paris, I showed you a map of Le Marais program site where people are in scattered apartments across a neighborhood. We have another program site in Paris called Pigalle program site. And in that program site, everyone is in the same building. And we do that because we've learned that some people really like having everyone in the same building. It fosters that sense of community. There's common hangout spaces where people can get together in the evening and play cards or have some wine or do a book club or cook together, or whatever. And other people say, no, no, I don't, that is not what I want. I want to have my own apartment in a building with Parisians living above me or below me, and I want to do that. And similarly in Lisbon, we have our Pombal site up near the park, and that's kind of scattered apartments. But then we have our Chiado site where they're all in actually two buildings right near each other. So we are expanding and we're trying to offer different flavors for different people who have different tastes. And we do that by having separate sites that are run in parallel in a given city. Um, uh, Curious about okay, next question. Curious about the included medical coverage. Are your members getting something of a group discount rather than purchasing direct? So for our travel medical insurance, that is included in our program fee. And just like any good or service, if you buy it in bulk, and we have thousands of people who travel with us, you have a little bit more pricey or little more leverage with whoever you're buying something from, versus if you go as an individual to buy something individually. So yes, it's just included in our program. You can't separate it out. It's just part of the program fee. We include it for everyone. Um, However, as I mentioned before, trip cancellation insurance or cancel for any reason insurance is a completely separate thing. Question: do you plan to offer? I think they mean bring your own housing on short stays. Yes, we will be offering bring your own housing on short stays as well as our month-long signature programs. Is there a deadline for selecting your own housing? Uh, that's up to you. If you want to arrive and have housing, then you should have it booked before you go. And I say that tongue in cheek because in bring your own housing, the housing is on you. We don't get involved. If you don't have it booked, that's on you. So I hope you would have it booked before you go. And again, it would depend completely on whatever resource you use to book that housing, to know whether there's still availability, if it's Airbnb or Booking.com. So really, when we say it's on you, we that is really up to you to make sure you have your housing in a time. We do ask before you go to provide us your address, just so we know, um, uh, just because it makes it practical for our community managers to understand, oh, there's somebody who's living over there, and just we do care about all of the people in our program, and our community managers are there for you. So it is important for them to know that you're there, but it's sort of on you. Um, the the $2,500, the question is the 2,500 for the short stay or for the month-long signature program? It's for the month-long signature program. I apologize, that wasn't clear. It's half for the 2-week short stay. Can we take advantage of the bring your own housing and not stay the full 4 weeks if we're willing to pay? Yeah. In any of our programs, if you want to pay the program fee and you want to eject at any point, you're welcome to do that. Absolutely. Um, we and also just important to note, all those activities and events that we put on are optional. If you're in any of our programs, whether it's bring your own housing or not, our month-long signature programs or our 2-week short stays, if you don't want to go to something, that's completely optional. It's not a tour where you're forced on a bus and got to go somewhere and then do this and then do that. It's really an independent experience, and we're just there to foster community, provide support for you. Um, the travel medical insurance does not include pre-existing conditions. You have to buy an optional thing to help. It's like a exemption from pre-existing condition that does have an additional fee. So that's a question. So Debbie asked to clarify, all of the experiences are covered in the fee except accommodation. Yes, all the experiences that are scheduled by us, we put in our program schedule are included. Things you do on your own, any sort of optional things you do, are not included. Let's see. Uh, Question: in Paris, is Wunderlist Rental, a German company, a company you endorse? I want to make something perfectly clear. We don't endorse any of these companies. This is a relationship that is arm's length. We don't have a deal with Airbnb. People, if you go online and look at reviews for any of these companies, you will find people who love them and people who criticize them. So we really do not get involved in housing. We do not endorse any company. We just provide. Here's a list of companies that have rentals in Europe that you might want to look at, but we don't endorse anything. Um, can you participate in the program for less than 4 weeks stay? Well, we would love it if you participate in the whole thing because that's kind of our community experience. But if you want to opt out and leave, again, that is your prerogative. What if we can't find housing in the area? I would travel with a dog and have to find dog-friendly housing. Is the deposit refundable in that case? Uh, Great question because we do have a lot of people who want to travel with their pet. And our apartments that we have in almost all cases are not, unfortunately, pet friendly. So we do say, hey, this is a great option. If you have a pet, bring your own housing. What we would recommend in this case is look for that housing first before you put down a deposit because our deposit is non-refundable. It is transferable. You can transfer to another date, you can transfer to another city, another destination. But I would say do the research up front to get comfortable before you put down a non-refundable deposit. Um, Stephen asks, are there planned activities every day? No. In general, the way our program works is you arrive, you check into your apartment. The next day, we do an orientation. At night, we do a big welcome party, kind of like I mentioned, rooftop gala type thing. And then Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, we have scheduled activities. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Mondays, we don't. And except that at the end of the program, we have our farewell party. And that usually happens on one of those days. So there are free days as well because it's meant to be an independent experience. Okay, this is a good question. Linda asked, how does bring your own housing affect the size of the group? Is the group size limited? Yes, the group size is limited. We cap, going forward, all programs are 20 people maximum. And so bring your own housing is available as long as we haven't met the maximum group size. And so what happens is we have a certain number of apartments that we have available to us. So for let's say we have 10 apartments in a given city. That 10 apartments, it could be filled with 10 couples, which would make 20 people. And then we would close the program, say, sold out. We don't have bring your own housing, nothing is available. However, that's not the case. On average, again, averages vary. A third of our group will be solo travelers. So we might have uh, 5 apartments with couples, that's 10 people, and 5 apartments with solo travelers, that's 5 people. So now we're at 15 people, and we still have some space because we're not quite at 20 where we could allow people who do bring your own housing to come in. But once we reach the maximum group size of 20, we'll close the program. Are the Tuesday lunches and happy hours paid by us? No. All the things that I showed on the screen are paid, are part of your program fee, part of that community fee included in the Good Life Abroad program. That's all included. You don't tip at the restaurant, you don't tip at the bar, you just enjoy the program. Um, okay, there's some questions here. Is the Bring Your Own Housing available for this program or that program? There's a few different questions there. We just go to our website, click the Book Now button, and you could use there's a filter to find the specific program you want, and then you can see it'll have different options: 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, bring your own housing. If it appears there, then we have it. You can have to do a little work on our website. Um, let's see. Is someone is asking, is the one in Paris is the program site with the one building available? Yes, that is our Pigalle site. If you go to our website, click Book Now, and then you can select Paris, and then you can see it'll say Paris, program site, Pigalle, program site, Marais, and it'll have the dates, and they have different dates, so you can see them. Let's see here. So, okay, 2,500 for the month long, bring your own housing, and 1,250 half for the 2 week short stay. And it is another good question. Is the community fee, the 2,500, refundable? It follows the exact same terms and conditions of our cancellation policy for like any other program. So the closer we get to the start date of the program, it becomes non-refundable. More and more of it becomes non-refundable the closer we get. Okay. Someone's asking about meals included. Again, all the meals and happy hours and cooking classes, which usually end in a very large meal, are included in the program fee. Everything is. Does the website make it clear whether or not you're going to be in one building or separate apartments? Uh, if you click into Book Now and you see the different program sites, you can click one of them, and there'll be a little description, and the description will either say all community members are living in the same building, or it'll say community members live in different apartments throughout this neighborhood or area. So we try to make it clear what each program site offers. Um, Gina asked, would you close the program after 20 people, even if most of them are in bring your own housing, therefore resulting in empty apartments? That's a great theoretical question. We would because we've hit our maximum size, but that's simply not probably going to happen. Most people just come to us and they want the full everything to be handled by us, apartments, everything. And so I would say we've offered bring your own housing here and there for the past couple of years, and it's maybe one person or one couple in a group might do it, but it's a very small minority. Most people are just happy for us to handle everything. Will you provide tipping guides for our program directors? I assume to be appropriate with them after being a month. Yes, we do. It's in our pre-departure information. Our community members are wonderful people. They become your friend really after a month or after 2 weeks. You really feel close to them. They're great support. And we first of all, we do compensate them well. They're all paid a salary. Tipping is completely optional. It's totally up to you. But many people really feel a desire to tip them, and we said, maybe on the 2 week, around $50 per person, and for a month, $100 per person. But again, totally up to you, your discretion. Some people don't tip, some people tip generously, some people tip more than that. Some people write songs or poems for our community managers. We've seen it all. We've seen bottles of champagne. It's really beautiful. Our community managers really are not guides. They're your friend, they're your support person. They're there to help you have the best time you can in Europe. And so they're wonderful. Do we have any apartments that have swimming pools? Um, Yes, in one case, in Barcelona, everyone lives in one building, and there is a rooftop swimming pool on that building, and that's the only one I can think of. Running through the list in my mind, yeah, I think that's our only destination that has a swimming pool. Now, I'm a swimmer, and so I think about these kind of things as well. In Sardinia, we're a 15-minute bus ride from the beach that has it's a nice bay for swimming, and I swim there. In Valencia, the beach is right there, again, about 10, 15 minutes away on bus. Very nice swimming there. Split, Croatia, amazing swimmer and swimming just 5 minutes walking away from where most people live. So a lot of great places for swimming. You can contact our office for more details to talk about swim options. Um, okay, and last question on my list, and I think I got to all of them. I'm impressed with myself. Do you have a Facebook group for participants to communicate with? And we absolutely do. If you go to Facebook, if you type in the Good Life Abroad, we have something called the Good Life Abroad Community, and it's a private group for people who have traveled with us, or people who are seriously considering it, or people who are booked but haven't gone yet. We do review. There's some questions we ask because we don't want spam and the kind of junk coming in. So we just make sure that this is legitimate, and we review every day, and we accept people in. And it's a great place. There's thousands of people in there, and you can talk to people who've been on programs or people who are about to travel. So I encourage you to join our Facebook group as well. And then, of course, I should just reiterate before we close that we do have this giveaway. You go to Facebook and find the Good Life Abroad page. There's a page and there's that group. Two different things. On our page at 12:30 Pacific, so again, about an hour from now, there'll be a post and you'll like it and you'll write something in the comments. And then at random, in a week, we'll choose one of the comments, and that will be the winner to get a $500 voucher for our program. So if there are no other questions, that's it. Thank you very much for joining and learning more about the Good Life Abroad and this specific option. I appreciate taking your time. If you have any other questions that pop up that you did not write or we didn't cover today, feel free to contact our office, info at thegoodlifeabroad.com. And one of our representatives will get back to you within one business day. In the meantime, um, thank you again. And remember, wherever you are, you deserve the good life. Take care. Bye bye. Oh, yes. And look for the recording of today's webinar in your inbox tomorrow morning.